invincible, but I still fight doubt. And the only person that's gonna stop me is me. But once I overcame that fight, can't nothing stop me. I can't die. I'm immortal. Rejected, neglected, I feel disrespected. They told me go left, I didn't learn the right lessons. Been hard on my grizzle, my hustle got deadly. Y'all rap about shit I done murdered already. Ain't changing my image, focused on my vision. Hard-headed, don't listen, fake love, I ain't with it. This path I'm committed, slip up but ain't tripping. My mind always spinning, ain't talking about fidget. Just run me, my digits go broke, I ain't limping. It ain't come to me, so I had to go get it. I came from a city with niggas, it's vicious. The love be fictitious, see hate from a distance. It made me a fighter, got pushed to my limits. I took a few L's and then got so discouraged. With God as my witness, from whence I was forged. No Golden Gate Bridge, but I came back a warrior. I came back immortal, invincible even. My faith is much higher than what you believe in. They wanted me gone on my soul, I ain't leaving. Spoke life into every verse you receiving. My music lives on when my bones turn to dust. There's power in words, so bitch you should hush. My mind overflowing in lyrical floods. Fuck building an art, you gon' need you a sub. I rose through the pavement, I stand on my morals. Been stabbed in the heart, now my scars are enormous. I took all your stones and created a fortress. Been fighting off demons that constantly torment my mind, and my thoughts are a little abnormal. Been crossing out squares that won't fit in my circle. Can't kill what I said, and this verse is eternal. With God on my side, I can't die, I'm immortal. Creation, destruction, the cosmos erupting. My mind kicked off track of the train I'm conducting. Came out of the dungeon, stepped into corruption. Don't know who to trust, how the fuck I'ma function. This deity trapped in this skin that I live in. They wanted a king since I fit the description. They tried to dethrone me, but I'm in position. I'll show you the wrath of a god from Olympus. You spoke on my name, bro, I thought we was different. Couldn't tie your own shoes, guess that's why you still tripping. That bitch wasn't loyal, guess karma's your mistress. It's hoes over bros, guess you made your decision. That rat in my family ain't talking about splinter. I hope that you feel every verse I deliver, cause hell done froze over, you think it was winter. If you thought for a second I wasn't gon' come get you, I think the Almighty made me in his image, dominion and power protecting my children, call angels beside me, now I'm in command. Enlightenment all in the palm of my hand. This ain't what you pictured, I wasn't supposed to make it. I'm supposed to be 6 feet up under a pavement. They hate how you live, but show love when you die. Hope you feel the same way when I come back to life. I rose through the pavement, I stand on my morals. Been stabbed in the heart, now my scars are enormous. I took all your stones and created a fortress. Been fighting off demons that constantly torment my mind, and my thoughts are a little abnormal. Been crossing out squares that won't fit in my circle. Can't kill what I said, and this verse is eternal. With God on my side, I can't die, I'm immortal.
Damn Skippy. All right, y'all. 07142024 07142024. It is definitely July 14th, 2024. Day you never been in before, and the day you never be in again. Hopefully you're gonna make the best out of it. But man, we are going to continue part 2 of the discussion. I'm late. I'm late because I went to work. Okay, I ain't rich. Shit, I gotta go work until the cartel give me back my stuff. No, no, we I had to go to work, and so we had to get this going. We're gonna have a good segment. We're gonna get some stuff handed out. Where is my notebook? There we go. So, Tell Them You Love Me, the documentary, has been just quite it's just been quite a riveting discussion. That it is by far the only case I have ever witnessed in my life where the questions just don't stop. You know what I mean? Even though people was wrong, the OJ case, but the questions stop. 9/11, questions stop. It's this case I have witnessed. Question after question after question after question, even though there was a court date and they came to some sort of conclusion, and the questions just fucking don't stop. So trying to get people in here, let them know what's going on. Let me get Mira's ass in here. and send him the link. I bring up my brother from another mother. What up, bro?
What's good, bro?
Ah, you think you think we gonna get enough out of our system today that we can move on?
Hey, I don't even know, man, because it's still like you said, question after question.
Right, right,
And as you are aware, this is in my my neck of the woods, man. So
right.
I still have questions. Like now, I'm walking around giving people the side eye now. Like I got to look at people differently now.
It's like, yeah, you knew this was happening. You ain't saying shit to me.
Right.
Or
Right.
maybe you didn't know.
I had no idea. You
That's
know,
crazy.
when you live in a different type of lifestyle, when you're in a different type of mindset, these things are just not crossing your mind, right? Because
Right. I
you're
mean,
comfortable, you're comfortable, right? You're comfortable, like, okay, I see the world for what it is, so obviously others are also living in this world, so they obviously see the world for what, but that's definitely not the case.
right, right. I if you want to be Fuji, you can be Fuji.
What you say?
If you want to be Fuji, you could be Fuji.
Nah, I'm gonna be cold. I'm gonna be. That's what my people call me. Fuji is just a
Okay.
tick.
I just figured I was just I thought that's what you want to do, so I'm glad you made it this time.
Yeah,
I
people.
but you right. When you in certain type of lifestyle mindset, this stuff don't hit your like directly. But there's just some stuff that's not in your lifestyle that just like what happened?
Right. And that's
Yeah.
exactly one of these cases. You know what I mean? This is one of those cases where you're like, wow, this is actually somebody's reality somewhere. Like
Right.
this is real life happening, and it's not that far from where I reside. Like,
Right. It should have been plastered. You know what I mean? This case should have been everywhere, right? Because if you talk about the OJ low speed chase, everybody who was anybody saw that shit.
right,
You was in school, you was at the local bar, you was at home, wherever you were at, you saw that. And this was before the internet really kind of like
took
was
off.
doing its thing.
Absolutely. I mean, but that's different circumstances, right? Like, this woman is just a regular person that works in you know, a college, right? Whereas OJ is one, he's a melanated brother. Two, he's known and he has some type of fame and attention where he could influence the masses. So, it's not on the same scale, even though both of the experiences and situations was just as bad. But the fact of the matter is that this is a melanated man who can influence the masses into a whole different direction, whereas she is doing it on a lower tier, right, in the classroom with college students, young adults, and she's not really known on that scale, right, on that grand of a scale. So in those regards, they're gonna they're going to approach him differently than they would approach this type of situation, right? And obviously, we know how they handle melanated brothers in accordance to YT women. So, which is a reality that we have to live and we know, but some of them don't, right? Some of them are oblivious to that. That's not their day to day, daily life, right? For us, we have to live with that on a day to day, daily basis. Somebody like her and her mother, and they don't have to deal with a lot of the obstacles we deal with, and they don't see and perceive life the way that we do because they don't go through the same trials and tribulations or similar trials and tribulations that we do. So it's different, especially when it comes to the system. As soon as you walk out your house, D, it's gonna be completely different, bro. You step out out of your home and you have a whole different perspective of how the world is going to look at you and approach you, right? Same thing with me. I step out the house, we got to put on a different type of armor from everybody else, right? We got to put on a different, thinking cap than everybody else when we step out our house. Nowadays, even while you're in your house, you can be sitting on your couch, in your drawers, eating some ice cream, and they'll just come busting up in your house, quote unquote, by accident and take you out, right? A kid could be in the park playing his little cops and robber game, and they can come in the park and take you out, right? These are realities that we have to face, whereas in their case, they don't have to deal with that too much.
I'm about to play this clip. And the clip I'm
Right.
about to play is one that had me tight because this is right where you were in your kind of expertise before you overstepped your boundaries.
Right.
And so let's just run it and see. Shit wild, I tell you, boy. It's wild out here in these streets.
Right. And this is right in your neighborhood near you. 2009, bro. I was in
Oh
college.
shit.
I was
Oh shit.
living in college.
Literally, I just stopped the whole fucking thing like an ass, thinking I'm hitting the right button. That's on me. Play as fuck up. Shout out to Day Day.
See, and that was all. He walks, he needs to hold on to somebody's arm, have a little support. He can focus his gaze, but kind of go off, his head turns. We're not used to that. We see that as signs of lack of intelligence. I've seen enough people like that in my life to know that that's simply not true. So I don't register things that way. So I had just cut out some pictures from magazines or drawn some pictures. John and Daisy were in the room watching, and I said to Derek, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm not asking them because I don't think you're smart enough or anything. I just want to see what happens when you try to point to something. So I watched, and he would kind of start moving his arm. It would go a little ways, and then he'd have this kind of muscle jerk reaction, which turned out to be very typical.
Hey, D, you know what I noticed? She said she don't see it that way, right? Certain behavioral patterns. Oh, I don't see it that way. Is that part of the protocol of that diagnosis, though? Right? Like, is that exactly what the diagnosis is? If this is the behavior, then this is what it is. Because you don't see it that way, does that mean that's not the case according to the symptoms of what they're stating this is? I can't hear you, bro.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. You have something that's called like a theory, which is something that's yet to been proven or disproven. And the way she states things of a certainty in a certain regard, particularly like how she said that her first interaction was to let him know that mean that you're not smart or this, that, and the third.
Right.
And right then and there, that tells me out the gate, you were already in left field.
Exactly.
But it was so gradual, right? Because where it may come about as concern, you're actually being condescending to the people in the room who care for that man.
Exactly.
So,
And that's what it shows by saying I don't see it that way.
did she come back? No, she ain't come back. I thought, hey, how she sending private messages? She ain't in here. All right, we'll see. All right. Hold on. Got me all messed up today. I'm in rare form today, boy.
Definitely. Yo, what was up with your girl, man? Becky was out here running loose.
Shit. Let her be.
If you've got cerebral palsy, you might be able to get your hand to something you're pointing at, but it might take you a minute. How do you have a conversation like that? So I had started with just a little support on his elbow, and that was it initially. That freed him up enough, and then he could select which picture he wanted. So far, so good. Then I said, now what I want to do is see where you're at with literacy. So I had cards that just had letters on them, kind of like doing boggles. So you have A, B, C, and T. You can spell cat, you can spell bat. And when I asked him to spell as many words as he could using these 4 letters, he made a very good showing with that. But it's one thing to reach your whole hand toward a very large target. It's an entirely different thing to get one finger pushing a key. So I had this small, very lightweight portable keyboard with a small LED display called the Neo. I ended up where I was keeping his fingers folded down so that his index finger was isolated. And the first thing I asked him to do was point to the letter H, the letter T, and he started making mistakes. So he mixed up the A.
Hey, right then and there.
Exactly.
You are a criminal.
You caught it.
Right there. You're a criminal. Hold
on. You know what else I noticed, dude? You saw the type of machine that she put in front of him, right?
Right.
Who said that he was even ready to go that far, right? Like, this wasn't a gradual progression of we're going to give him a obviously he can't fold his hands in a manner, right? So let's get him a bigger machine to where the letters are bigger or the icons are bigger, right? She immediately started with this particular type of machine for him where she has to manipulate his fingers in order to be able to press.
Wow.
She didn't even start off with where his mother and his brother left off, right?
Right.
She had her own evaluation set up, right? She didn't even say, okay, what does he know already? What doesn't he know already?
Wow stuff, bro. Wow stuff. 0 to 1,000.
hand in front of him.
And I'm just trying to figure out cerebral palsy. You just put your hand on somebody's elbow, and that just fixes everything.
That part. You went. Check this out. Let's take it further. You went from just a little touch on the elbow to now adjusting his fingers.
And then you went from adjusting the finger to adjusting his pamper.
Exactly. It went from adjusting his pamper to now adjusting his Shmee.
Uh-huh.
Yo.
Wow, this is wild shit, bro.
Yo, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, bro. This
And in
saying a
fact,
lot.
the thing about it is, I'm not even mad at her telling the truth about how she manipulated, because the law put it out there. They can't do nothing about it now. So she played the law more so that she actually played his family.
I didn't even see it that way. Wow. I mean, but they have the capability. They have the room to do that. Right? The law and the system and structure is set up in their favor. So she has the right to do that. What are they going to do?
That's wild shit, bro.
This is how it operates, right? We're going to set it up differently for them than it applies to us.
It's wild. She literally like
Literally.
I took his hand and put his forefinger.
She literally said, I manipulated the hand over hand technique to accommodate for what I am giving him here with this machine
Right.
that he's not even capable of operating for sure yet.
What I'm wondering is this, because how casually she speaks, that I put these alphabets in front of him and he just start compiling fucking words. And it's like, bro, I would be totally dismissal of, I don't think that man's brother, when they was kids, didn't put letters in front of him.
Exactly.
Time after time. I would be dismissive if I didn't think at some point in time, if that man's brother, curiosity, didn't strike him and say, well, what if he tried this way?
And that's, you're actually aiding to the point, right? Because the point is that she didn't say, hey, look, to the brother, right, or the mother, hey, look, what techniques have you guys tried, right? Like, what type of processes have you guys tried in order to figure out where he stands in the social grounds, right, of communication, right? She didn't state that. She didn't state, look, I went to the mother, I went to the brother to find out, what he's capable of so far as in communication, what type of forms or techniques do they use, what is he capable. She didn't say any of that. She just went in and did her own thing to make that determination.
Right. So let's go here real quick, cause shit got real interesting. I wanna, bro.
Yo, this is insane, bro. This is crazy.
And he said, so now what? So he was reading the books. We were talking about things. What he wrote for the panel was very impressive to me. It was less than a page, but he had a choice of words, a way of phrasing things. It really struck me. just became more and more aware that, this was a man who was very insightful and very thoughtful. He spent a lot of time sitting around, and he was sitting around thinking, and give him some ideas and something to.
Now, bro, the choice of words and the placement. Bro, this is a whole different level of delusion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, you're not only just narrating what you're making him do, you're also narrating how far he's come along and projecting it to everybody else. Like, oh yeah, he just went from having this condition to scholar.
To genius. To
Right.
genius. Here's the funny part, bro. The funny part is that, did she even say how long this process was going on before she came to the conclusion that he was just some outstanding genius?
Bro, she didn't even try to mask it.
Exactly. Like he went from putting cat and hat and bat together to within a few months being this astronomical genius.
Yeah, right. Let's read some of his writing. Where is it at?
And he has a way of putting these words together and forming these astonishing
Let's read
thought
this.
processes.
This is somebody who is not able to speak, read nor write, can't keep his eyes straight, which he admitted that, and then his head twitches, which he also expound on that in court.
The hopeful joy of communication. No punishment is worse than silence. You break out from the silence by giving voice to your intelligence. Seriously, bro.
That bitch didn't even try. She said, fuck it, I'm gonna go left.
She just got the car, pushed the pedal to the floor, and just turned the wheel.
Just turned the shit out of it. This is fuck it.
Wow. And he got to this point from off of what? Like, there was no development on words,
None of that. 30
structure
years,
of
bro.
definition, right?
30
Like, none of
years.
that is. And if somebody just watch it, if somebody just watch this, they're really gonna go with this. They're gonna go with it, right? Because they're not gonna really think in depth to exactly what is going on because of how believable she sounds by the way she's expressing this, right? Because a lot of people will genuinely believe what she's saying, right? People will believe that, right? They don't really understand the gravity of exactly what this lady was doing.
That's bizarre, bro.
Like this guy has been in books learning definitions and words and understand context and context clues and how words and adjectives and are subjective or objective and how they work together. Like, where and when was he doing this? Seriously, like, yo,
He
this
goes
is
from
amazing.
I ain't add enough sugar.
nonverbal. Goes from nonverbal, non-communicative, no education, to compose. The hopeful joy of communication. No punishment is worse than silence. You break out of the silence by giving your voice to your intelligence. Doesn't that shit sound doctored up, Fuji?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds like that little AI things. Put the sentence together for him.
Facts.
No, yeah, the AI thing just
Yeah,
represented the sentence form.
yeah,
It
because
was more so. It was more so like that Caucasian woman put the sentence together for him.
Okay, so we're talking about the documentary.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
10-4, got it. Let me reprogram. Okay, I'm back.
All right. So we go. Let's see where we go from here.
I just became more and more aware that this was a man who was very insightful and very thoughtful. He spent a lot of time sitting around, and he was sitting around thinking, and give him some ideas and something to work with, and he was just digging in and seeing stuff. That is what that's what I like in my friends. That's honestly what I like in men. I'm the kind of nerdy intellectual girl who wants a nerdy intellectual guy. You find you really enjoy talking to them, and you share tastes, but you also disagree on things, but you learn from it. I mean, we were just having those kinds of experiences. But I was married. My marriage wasn't terrific, but I wasn't in any way thinking about going outside the relationship.
So
That boar's head.
Hold on, D. Hold on, D. This is amazing. This is amazing. So, he just sit around thinking, where does he have the life experience in order to be able to come up with these complex, astounding, intelligent, genius thoughts to put this type of words together for somebody who lives a completely different type of life? Where is he going? What is he doing? He has no control over his motor skills. How is he doing all of that?
I was just saying the man was, he's a top chef, and he smokes a fine cigar and drinks the oldest
What?
cognac. Just from what I gather, I remember DJ being a gentleman and a scholar.
Right? That likes classical music and
Neiman Marcus. He loves Neiman Marcus.
He loves Neiman Marcus. He only wears the finest.
and he's just has enough life experience to know what all this stuff is and relay this to other people. But he has no type of control over his motor skills and his bodily functions. This is astounding.
So
Wow.
let's hear this damn fool speak once more. I mean, it's only right. Right.
Wow. And we're so at what point is the mother and the brother in acknowledgement of all of this stuff? At what point? Like
It
it's like
it was it was to a fault, and rightfully so. A trust of professionalism.
but the professionalism isn't there because she's doing this
Right.
on
No,
her
no,
own
we
accord.
know it's not there, but then it's also, you gotta remember, this is also something that they're not really fully versed on, right? So it's kind of like when you send your kid into the operating room to get brain surgery, and this person's a known brain surgeon or has been presented as a brain surgeon.
Okay, but don't they at some point come out and first of all they ask the parents, first of all, how far have you gotten with this person? Which she didn't do, right? And as they're
No,
doing
you
their
got
brains,
you got to remember, a lot of stuff went under the rug because DJ's brother was her student.
exactly. So how is it he's now no longer a valid participant in the progressions of his brother?
Oh, I
You
mean,
see-
because the whole thing about it was initially supposed to be just that the test, and then from there, somebody else. Because remember, she's like, the nearest facility is in Syracuse, and it's gonna cost too much, so I can do the initiation for you if you like.
But
So,
this is not her field. This is not
right,
what she does.
right. It's still unknown because she's passing that off as such. Because a lot of professors have these different degrees in this and third. So she's over ethics. So I'm pretty sure her brother's like, all right, cool. And then she keeps talking about these particular subjects. So it's one of them things where you're well versed enough to speak on about it, give your opinion, talk about findings. But yeah, okay, let's do this. How many of our actual teachers through school were actually fucking scientists, but they was teaching science?
Exactly. Which is why I didn't pay the motherfuckers that much mind when we was in the class. Exactly. How many of our math teachers were actually mathematicians that was doing mathematical,
Right,
astounding
right, right,
grammatic
right.
programs,
So
and not really any of them. Really, it's just
right,
they
so
did these
right, right.
courses and got this certificate.
So right there, the overwhelming fact of just being given grace based on title, just based on title, and it happens all the time. Trust officer such and such, trust pastor such and such, trust coach such and such. It happens all the time.
Every day.
So this was just a case of mis misused trust, and she misused their trust. But let's see what
Position of power.
let's see what the fool had to say for herself again.
Wow.
To him.
Wow.
I was like, well, I've got to figure this out. I mean, I had my husband and my kids. Okay, I'm in love with the man. I realize this now, but I'm not going to say anything. I have to sort all of this out. It was awkward. Then I saw him about a week later, and I found myself saying that I help the other people that I do facilitated communication with, because I just believe so strongly that everyone has a right to communication. And that I said, I do what I do for you because I love you. And he said, I know. I love you too.
Now, wait,
And
you see that bullshit?
Said, I know.
Do you see that,
Yes. You see the hands?
bro? Ain't none of that. That ain't. You are literally
Directing
directing.
the conversation and what his responses are. You're literally moving the hand exactly where you want him to, how you want him to respond.
It's just crazy. And this not even them. This is just a reenactment.
Exactly,
And
because she told you in the beginning, she puts his fingers a certain way,
wait,
holds his
and
hand. That person is not holding his hand; they're holding the wrist,
the
and the
forearm.
person is moving their finger,
Right.
which is not what he was doing.
At all. This is wild. This is wild, bro. Oh man. All right.
He asked me to kiss him, and I did. And then he said, kiss me again. And I did. And he said, so now what?
Title should be I'm gonna make you love me.
Absolute facts. I know exactly where that is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
As things went along, Derek started going on the speaking circuit, I guess, going to these conferences and all. And there started to be some tension. They were driving to this event in Suburban Trend somewhere, and my mom was playing gospel music. And Glenn goes and turns the station and puts on classical music. Derek doesn't want to hear this. He wants to hear that.
She had ejected my gospel music. So I hit it and it went back to playing.
Derek loves gospel. He goes to church. He uses the music. That assumption that he prefers the high culture of classical music and not the low culture of gospel. I mean, it was just too much of a leap.
There were things that one day when we broke for lunch, I was cutting up his chicken and she rolled over to the table and said, "What are you doing giving him meat? He's a vegetarian." I said, "Nobody sent me the friggin' memo."
There was another time she's working with Derek on the computer. I said something to the effect of, Derek, just jokingly, "I can't wait till we get home so we can just get a beer and kick back and just relax." And then on the keyboard said something to the effect of, "Well, I don't like beer. I like red wine." And I just thought that to be hella peculiar. Derek doesn't even like communion wine.
If you're in a giving care frame of mind, you don't see the person you're supporting as somebody who's in a position to make their own decisions, who has their own ideas about how they want things done. You want to give them some control to develop into a person who has a good sense of themselves.
Come on.
So that part is a hard adjustment for parents or teachers who've been in a "I'm taking care of you" mode.
Turn your feet, turn your body, now step off. Thank you. When I would dress him, and she would pick him up, she had these signs that she would do if he wanted yes or no. And she would say, "Do you want to wear your undershirt today?" And then if he hit here, that's no, and that was yes. And then she would, "Oh, he don't want to wear this." And that's when she said, "You have to understand, you're treating him like he's a kid, he's a man."
My mom kept telling me, Anna was saying that, she's too mothering. She's smothering Derek. Derek doesn't want all of this help from her, that, you can't be my mom all the time, and all these different things that it seemed to be breaking my mom down. And then to add to that, this idea that, oh, Derek now wants to live independently.
The man had wanted to look.
Now, my man then went from handicap to bachelor.
The Black Bachelor. The Black
My man went from
Smooth Pimp Bachelor.
Mentally handicapped, physically handicapped to bachelor. Wow.
Player.
He out here. Listen.
Mac of the century, bro.
Bro, I'm certain this man that went to church. I'm certain this man that went to church. I'm certain this man that been to other, and I'm certain he done seen some nice physiques that, listen, I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna speak to this. And
not
boom.
One of them, bro.
Not
one of them.
Not one. He didn't give them a word. Not a word. So all of a sudden, you come along,
and it's you,
and you special. Again, like I said, if I was the lawyer, I would have done so many. I would have reached out to a local celebrity or something and put him in a room just to see his response to that individual. Since
Okay, so with Beyonce and Kelly Rowland, he ain't doing none of this. But with you,
right, right, he ain't even utter a word. Didn't have a clue who they were. Didn't type anything. Didn't 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 even look at him. But with you, he became Darkwing Duck.
he became Money Mike, pimp player.
It's wild stuff. It's wild stuff. I just it's like, yo, this is some wild stuff.
This is what type of time they be on, bro. Telling the mother what he don't want. Like the mother ain't been in his life doing this since his his birth.
Right. And having to go beyond that because of the sincerity of the situation.
Absolutely. But now you come in with your little degree, and now all of a sudden you know more than what the mother do.
Right.
That's crazy, bro. That's insane, bro. He doesn't like this. He doesn't eat this. He doesn't listen to this. He doesn't drink beer. Lady, who the fuck? Where you getting this from? He doesn't listen to gospel. He likes classical music.
All right, bro. Let's let's hear some more.
The buffoonery.
Yeah.
Yo, this says a lot, bro. It speaks volumes. Volumes.
Doesn't it? Let's go.
And so I made an appointment to meet with the dean. I remember going into her office and I started to tell her what was going on. She kind of froze and was like, took a deep breath and was somewhat in disbelief. I don't think I had taken the opportunity to kind of let myself release this emotion. I was just sat in that office and I don't think I ever cried in front of a white woman before, but I just broke down. And she basically said to me in so many words, John, make sure you get a lawyer.
Hello?
Hello, Anna.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
What's up?
I want to talk to you about Derek. There's been some things that's been bothering me about our last conversation.
I got a phone call one day from Daisy, and she said,
He has not been acting himself, and I think he misses you.
Sure as hell miss him.
she said, he's been biting his hand a lot more. He's really unhappy. So she said, I'm just trying to understand what happened between the two of you.
He's been mouthing his hands and doing all sorts of things. So, I need to know how many times you all made love, Alma. I really, because I'm thinking about what's really going on with Derek and how he's feeling.
To me, it sounded like, oh, maybe this is an opening. Maybe they're seeing he's unhappy and they're reconsidering. And so I was happy to answer her questions.
In terms of actually making love, there were 2 Sundays that we were able to be together like that.
So what did you do? What, I mean, please clear this up in my head for me.
So, I mean, my office has enough floor space, and I brought in an exercise mat and the beach towel, and we were able to make things work.
You know, again, that feels kind of weird to talk about with your lover's mother, but you know, whatever. If it kept the conversation going and if she was listening.
He is the most important person in my life. I'm the most important person in his life. We're so happy when we're together. I'm lucky if I get through 20 minutes of any day without thinking about him. If I did things like bite my hands, I'd be biting my hands right now too.
I found out later that that phone call had been set up by the police and they had coached her on what to say and it was being recorded.
The date is August 22nd, 2011. This is regarding Special Victims Unit case number S11-0141. The target of the investigation is a one Marjorie Ann Stubblefield. The consenting party is a one Daisy P. Johnson. The crimes investigated are crimes of the sexual assault nature.
It was a Monday and I was teaching class in the afternoon. So I pulled into the parking lot and I was approached by two people in plain clothes. And they said, we're with the Essex County Prosecutor's Office and we need to ask you some questions. And the only thing I could think of was something about a student. You know, I'm wondering what's going on. And then they said, do you know somebody named Derek Johnson? I was like, okay, you know, and that was, or it's starting to penetrate that, wow, okay, this is. So then I had to make a decision on the spot about how much do I say? But I figured, you know what, I didn't do anything wrong. I talked to them for about 2 hours and I told them the whole story. You know, that we were in love and all of that stuff. I just didn't actually say the words, we consummated the relationship. They drove me back to the parking lot at Rutgers and there was a person I didn't know who identified himself as a representative of the dean's office. He handed me a letter and the letter informed me that as of this moment, I was suspended from my teaching duties at Rutgers. I was not allowed on campus. And while I was there, they had gone to my house with a search warrant. My now ex-husband was there, so he's found out that I'm under investigation.
What the ex-husband actually found out was you've been screwing
Exactly.
that dude and you're going down for it.
You've been raping a disabled
Individuals,
person
right?
in your office.
Relentlessly.
The same one that you was going to have come to your house and live in your house.
Bruh. So as you can see this picture right here, right? At this time, clearly these kids have some understanding of what's going on.
They're old enough to understand that.
Right. It may not be the full-on extent, but they know something's not right at that age.
Exactly. And clearly it's not daddy, it's mommy. So
I knew that was
Over 40 years.
So you're married. You're doing this while you're married. It's not like you're separated. It's not like you're divorced. You're actively in a marriage. and you're deciding to do this while you're married to this man and he has no clue that you're going to work every day, setting up a yoga mat and a beach towel to ride the living life out of the
Handy.
man.
Right, the man.
D man. The T man. The D man.
Bro, this is so.
That's insane, bro. There is no bounds, bro, that they won't. No bounds. Anybody is liable to get it. Literally.
Anybody. Anybody.
This is deep.
Anybody can get it. Literally.
Pun intended.
No, bro. Literally, she took that shit too far. It was.
Yo, this is insane, bro.
What's supposed to be anybody can get it. It literally mean anybody.
Anybody. Anybody is liable to get it, bro. Anybody. They out here moving like Oprah Winfrey out here. You get one. You get one. Everybody gets.
Bro. Oh god.
Everybody liable to get this shit.
Oh. Bro.
She out here sham wowing with the pussy.
Right. Dog. Anybody can get
Anybody liable to get it out here. Watch your back. Watch your step. Mama, I will come up in your crib and say, this motherfucker right here. You don't know him. He is in every word a man.
every sense of the way a man.
Every sense of the word.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
You got full functioning motherfuckers out here who ain't getting shit.
Right.
Out here driving the desert out here.
Remember that meme? Meanwhile, this ugly motherfucker here, and I can't even get a text back.
Exactly. This motherfucker can't even put a whole full sentence. He can't even control his motor functions. And out here tearing some shit up.
All right.
That's crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro.
Getting top tier educated.
Top tier, bro. Top tier with a whole husband and kids.
Husband, kids got a career.
And a really pristine neighborhood too. That neighborhood that they said they was living in, that's a really expensive neighborhood. That's an expensive town, bro. You have to have good money to stay in that area, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You noticed it was a black guy, right? A black kid. It wasn't no white kid. It wasn't no Indian kid. It wasn't no Asian kid. It wasn't. This was a black, disabled person.
Yeah. Let's see what else comes down the pipeline. Jesus Christ.
The parking lot at Rutgers, and there was a person I didn't know who identified himself as a representative of the dean's office. He handed me a letter, and
Hey, D, hold on, D, pause there real quick.
As of this moment, I'm
about to show you and tell you how bad it is and how literally anything and everybody is liable to get it. I just saw a post or a video of a woman who was sleeping with a dog in a church parking lot. Getting doggy styled in a church parking lot.
Hey, listen. I don't think these people understand some of this stuff is not to be taken literal.
And she was on probation for doing it with a pit bull not even a year prior.
Yo, what the fuck? You are a habitual dog fucker.
Yo, when I tell you these, she is from. I think they said it was Mississippi or some shit. Look it up, bro.
I'm cool.
She was out here getting slammed by
Uh,
a dog in a church parking lot and recorded it and put it on social media.
yeah, but that was my thing. Never mind. Never mind.
Suspended from my teaching duties at Rutgers. I was not allowed on campus.
It's insane.
And while I was there, they had gone to my house with a search warrant. My now ex-husband was there, so he's found out that I'm under investigation.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now, wish me luck. Grammarly has again been a lifesaver with my application and helping me write my personal statement.
They hold
This
me.
isn't your ordinary coffee break. This is
Yo,
Premier
that's
Protein Caffeine.
They hold me.
I can't
They
even
hold me.
imagine what he was actually going through, the emotions he was running through, finding out that she was doing this, bro.
Right.
I couldn't
Because
imagine.
like, think about that. Like, your chick cheat or whatever, right? And you're like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We going through a rough patch, whatever. You blow that shit off. But then you find out your chick cheats with a handicapped dude. Not
It's
just
not
any
even like
not
it's not
just
even like
any
he's a functional handicapped dude. Like he
right.
has no type of oh my goodness, bro.
So and here's the situation. You're cheating on your husband in a way that you can't even get with somebody that can consent. You out here raping people.
Damn, bro. Damn, bro.
This is Detective Christine Mikowski of the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. I'm interviewing Miss Sharonda Jones. Miss Jones, did there ever come a time that you got involved with Anna Stubblefield?
Yes, my professor suggested her because I work with children with mental and behavioral disorders. So she figured that it would probably be a good connection because she talked about working with facilitated communication.
Can you tell me a little bit about the facilitated communication? What kind of process is that?
It's pretty much me being an arm for the man. I would hold his arm up while he would type out whatever thoughts that he had on a communication board. He pretty much read the books. I didn't know any information about the book. I can't tell you what he read, and he typed out the information. One of my roommates was in the class with him, and they pretty much wrote the same things.
Today we're conducting an interview with Miss Karen Moore. And what do you do at the university?
I teach African American literature.
And how do you know Miss Stubblefield?
Well, she wrote to me. He was not in my class last semester, so it must have been 2010.
And when you say he, that's Derek Johnson?
I only knew him as D-Man. I did not know that was his name.
And Anna would assist with?
Well, you know what that situation is. They say that, the students are saying what they want to say while she's guiding the hand, so.
Did he participate?
Now, I want to make this known that his teacher stated that you know what they're saying. They're saying what they want to say while they're guiding the hand.
So I'm a little confused now because the person that the detective did before the teacher said that she didn't read none of the books, and she would hold his hand and he would just write out whatever he read.
Right. And her roommate was in the class with him.
and they wrote some of the similar things, right? So now that makes me question, like, okay, so first of all, he's not really, he can't even focus his eyes really, right? Like he can't focus his eyes enough to follow a line, right? Clearly he can't, he has no. So how is he reading this stuff?
Well, I mean, let's see what they say.
In the class,
he did. He I guess he would. I don't know that I really believe that actually happens, but so she would, you know, write whatever it was that he wanted to say. She'd raise her hand and she'd read it.
he would never have verbalized anything.
As far as I know, he can't talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a call from my assistant saying that the Special Victims Unit in New Jersey was calling. Asked me if I would be willing to provide some assistance as an expert. As it was described to me, I'd never encountered any case that mirrored these particular circumstances. I'd never seen anything like it. In this case, the question to me was, could you evaluate Derek to understand his best level of communication? From everything that I read, there was a consistency to the extent of his disability, but I went in with an open mind. I met him when he was brought to the prosecutor's office. He was accompanied by his brother and his mother. I already knew that he had no speech. So I proceeded to introduce different types of materials for him to indicate pictures, photographs, which are very realistic. It was difficult for him. You know, I really didn't get very much from that. He was able to pick up some objects, but not when I said, you know, pick up the spoon or pick up the cup. I did an interview of his mother based on everything that she had observed, and she certainly was a very good observer. I found that he was, you know, functioning at a pretty low level. His way of telling you that he wanted something to eat was he would scoot over to the refrigerator and tap on the refrigerator. That's very functional. But to move from that to pointing to a picture of the refrigerator, that's a greater level of abstraction. And in all the years he had been in these different programs, he had never moved from the physical to that type of communication. I spent 2 or 3 hours with him. He spent a lot of time just moving around the room. He liked coat hangers. So if he saw a coat hanger, he would go over and he recognized that. He liked to slap him on the floor. So I just basically reported what I found. I made a determination that what I was observing was consistent with what the medical record had indicated for, you know, over 20 years of his life. There was no one in the 20 years who saw some sparkling of, you know, something different.
Severely mentally retarded. Catch a bitch.
Wow.
Like a call. That it's in red. I'm like, oh, what? so through all in a genuine trial. This case is about everything. Communication, release, and it's about sex. And those three things that is money. On the personal level, it's about control. It's about guilt.
I was actually looking forward to the trial as finally this nightmare's going to be over. I knew she was not guilty of anything.
Bullshit.
Wow, bullshit.
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 That bullshit.
I'm not guilty of what they were accusing me of. If the accusation is I have some weird.
I'm not guilty of what they're accusing me of.
So she knows she's guilty of something, but she's saying she's not guilty of what they're
She knows
accusing.
she's guilty of all of it. She just so basically the same ploy she's giving here is the reason how she got out of that situation of 20-something years, got them 2 years counted as time served. Because the way she is conceptualizing is that he is a grown man. By age, yes. By competency levels, absolutely not.
He's incompetent. And he clearly cannot. He just can't structure anything for himself.
But she wants to have this narrative like, oh yeah, he just seduced me, and it was all of this. He drinks red wine. He wants to establish himself and be on his own. It's like, wait a minute.
And she's doing it under the roof with her husband. Like, you're married. You're going home to. I wonder how she was able to do this stuff in the office with him and then go home and look at her husband and children every day. Like, how were you able to be? Like, how?
What's my man, Lil D? Lil D going around. Lil D, what you gonna do? I'm gonna bust a nut. No.
D-Man was out here giving her the D.
But D-Man is not to the level of Lil D.
Absolutely not.
Lil D has a level where he can respond, although some stuff is kind of like, beyond his scope. But he knows for a good gist of what's going on.
He has some cognitive understanding of where he is and what's going on around him. And he's still getting the draws.
Yeah. So I want to go here and go ahead. Let's go there and close it out.
1-44. We are here today for the sentencing of Marjorie Anna Stubblefield. Is there anyone that'd like to speak on behalf of the state?
Yes, Your Honor. The victim's brother, John Johnson, would like to address the court. His mother would like to approach and stand with him while he addresses the court.
That's fine.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
34 years ago, doctors said my brother would not live to see his 3rd birthday.
Right.
Those doctors and the devil are liars. My brother since then has grown to become a loving person. He is a beautiful brother and he is a beautiful son. I don't think Anna understood the depth of pain she caused my family. She tried to lay claim to him and rename him. She tried to supplant Derek's life, a life steeped in the history and culture of his God-fearing, Southern-rooted, African-American family. She tried to supplant that with some version of life she thought was better. We need to disenchant ourselves from the notion that Anna Stubblefield is some tragic shero.
Right there. See right there? That face. Right there. Right there. That is her regretting and wishing she can recant everything literally.
Or she trying to think how she could have did it a different way.
That too.
Because
Anna is
I don't
not
think she
Sandra
really
Bullock,
regretted.
and this is not The Blind Side. Derek is not some poor black kid from the ghetto that needs someone to save him. An able-bodied woman raped a disabled young man that could not consent to sex. You were wrong, Anna. You committed a crime. There is no gray area. In closing, thank Your Honor for helping bring this ordeal to a close.
I have read and received letters from the former husband of the defendant who wrote a very compelling impact statement. I believe that Anna is a pathological liar and narcissist. She will stop at nothing to fool the court and seek vindication regardless of the emotional and financial expense to her family or the primary victim's family. Clearly, I am distraught, but this and the impact on my immediate family, I leave the wisdom of the court to determine a just sentence.
And right
Ms.
there,
Stubblefield, please stand.
and right there was the realization of, damn, I can't call him ever again.
It's over.
I can't call that.
I can't go back to my. I can't go back to him.
I can't call that
It's
nigga
over.
no more.
I can't pull the wool over his eyes anymore.
This is not funny, but goddamn.
It's not funny, man. It's sad, bro. And then you have people on these lives, man, that really paint the narrative of men as if we are just such demonic savages who just don't have any pulse.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you have these type of stories and scenarios where you have some women out here doing shit like this.
You know, the crazy thing about it is we only got count of the ones that have done it. They got caught.
Exactly. You don't even know how many women are out here doing worse than that. A girl, we wouldn't even have, that what I just told you, we wouldn't even have known if she didn't record it and put it online.
Yes, incriminated herself. Yeah.
You want to know what's even more crazy, D?
She married?
She was pregnant and it had 2 weeks left in order to give birth.
Boy, get the fuck out. Listen, we go end on that note. That right. Oh, that goes underground. Oh shit. Underground, how long you been here?
Hey mate, I was listening and I was in the YouTube and then I saw the link on TikTok.
Yes. Oh man, that's so good you're here. So you did get to see a lot of what we did play, right?
I just caught like a little bit of it. Yeah, just her mom saying that she's innocent.
Hey Underground, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
This is
learning. I'm learning.
It's one of those situations where it's like I laugh, I chuckle, but I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at the fact that this was an idea actually planted in somebody's head and they carried it out.
It's called superiority complex.
That's what I said, Underground.
It comes in all forms.
Anybody's liable to get it.
Literally.
Literally. Anybody's liable to get it nowadays.
What I don't understand is they don't see that they did anything wrong.
She knows she did wrong. That's the difference between her.
I mean, do they have a conscience? That was my question. It's like, if you have a moral compass, instinctively you would know that it's not right.
She knew she did wrong because the look on her face when John read his position, like everything about that. Like somebody without a conscience, you know they just don't care. Like even right here. Like when this is the last look on her face when that husband was like sending that, that silent FU letter.
Mm-hmm. That was the best.
Look that right there, that realization set in and that exhale, like, yeah.
You know, I think they have a moral compass, but it doesn't have any foundation of spirit or soul.
Yes,
with
that
it.
part.
Right? Like they have a moral compass because they know right from wrong. Right? They base their society and system off of what's right and what's wrong. So obviously there's a moral compass there. Is that it's not rooted with any type of spirit or soul in it, right? It's not rooted with any of that in it.
No, it's probably rooted in her scientific data and statistics.
I mean, well, shit. Her scientific data and statistics was all the way off.
No, it just came with a yoga mat and a beach towel.
Well, that wasn't science. That was just pure fucking adultery.
Right.
And then he had all types of marks on his back. She was killing him in that goddamn office.
But you have to wonder what kind of woman would entertain those kind of thoughts and, be curious about that when you already have a husband at home with kids. Like, she would have entertained all of that before acting it out. Or maybe she thought she was some form of the hero, right? The villain hero, thinking that she's going to liberate a man.
I mean, she said it, Underground. She said it. I understood that I had a husband at home and I was going to, she said it. She knew, right?
Mm-hmm.
She knew. Although I had a husband, I knew that I loved him, right? So she's really in her mind believing this stuff.
Yeah.
Well. So, damn it.
But I think she already had that played out, D. Because, like you said, as soon as she came in doing her little evaluation, she already put the pedal to the floor and completely went left. Like,
well, notice she cut pictures from magazines and had fucking and you notice when the doctor did it, he had actual tools.
Right, professionalized tools.
What is interesting is
As
this
to
is
count one, first-degree aggravated sexual assault where the victim was physically helpless or mentally incapacitated. I sentence you to 12 years in New Jersey State Prison. As to count two, I sentence you to 12 years New Jersey State Prison, concurrent with count one. After you are released from prison, you are placed on parole supervision for life.
The fact that she tried to save face by carrying out that faint smile.
I was
And,
just
like,
getting ready to say something about that, bro. The whole time she had that same like facial expression, like
yeah, but that face, yeah, that shit wasn't around when things got a little heavy. I just, I know it has to be tough for the Johnson family. Um, I personally, at this point, if I was to have a sit down with them, I wouldn't want to have them relive, recant, rehash out any of the things that, or recall any of the things they went um, through this experiment. I think that they were fine with it as far as the documentary go. I'm just at a point where something legally has to take place to where the punishment actually fits, because there was no way, you know what I mean? Like, there was no way. I'm to a point where you're going to go to jail and you're going to teach him how to read and write without, uh, facilitating. And then every time you come back to court and he can't type or write or read on his own, he gonna keep staying in jail. I think that would have been a far more better deal than even spewing out time, because as long as he lives, and as long as you can't make that very thing come to the forefront without your hand being on him, without you misleading, everybody, and uh, conjuring up this narrative and trying to manifest this thing, it would have only been right that you would have to then teach him how to read and write without you touching him, and then we will evaluate every 3 months or every 3 years, I'd say. And then we just have to deem you mentally retarded but functioning.
I think it's a lot of people out here who should be having that diagnosis, because a lot of people are fully functioning but not fully coherent or conscious of what they're actually, what reality is, right? You can hear it on the lives, man. Like, a lot of people are like, they're fully functioning, but they're not.
Nah, that fucking, like I said, I did a whole live on that shit about the 5'5" parrot. You repeat everything you heard, but know nothing. I got an idiot that keeps tagging me on Facebook about Angel Reese. I'm like, bro, she's good. Leave it at that. But I had to get into him. Like, you're a grotesque parasite, bro. You don't know how to ask for help. It happens. It's unfortunate.
Who the heck is that? Who is Reese?
Angel Reese.
Oh, the basketball player.
Right. Welcome back, AJ.
Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. As soon as I got on here, my mom called.
Tell us you got bad time now. Nah,
What's up, Baba?
we're gonna have to do another one, but it won't be on this. I think I got my feel enough for this shit. What about you, Underground?
I think what is interesting is there's something about the white female, um, based on this case, but it manifests itself in different forms. with different scenarios. And if you look back at some of the old cases where the brothers were incarcerated because of a tear of a woman, or because they were um, incarcerated for things like assumed rape. Can I use these languages here, like rape?
Yeah, no, you
Right?
could say the real words. I even when I'm live, I'm not doing this shit. I'm not no unaliving or smacks. I'm not saying none of that shit. That's just fucking stupid. Just
Right. So,
look like
right.
human fucking puppets. Like, I'm like
Yeah,
watching Jim Henson's puppets in real time.
yeah, they fucking and shit.
Yeah, but you look at history, you see how the black men have suffered because of these white women's tears, because of the fact that they coddled them so much, and got away with it. But it comes in different forms, but it's something that has passed down, like you said, like the superiority complex, right?
Mm,
Um, different situations or different scenarios, like relationships, like to the point that they will basically tarnish and ruin man's reputation.
right,
Or, like the fatal, what is it called? Fatal attraction.
right.
Yes.
Right, but yeah, but it comes in different forms. It's just something sick about it. But
Mm,
what is it that the men are not picking up sometimes? Does that make sense in those relationships? What are
mm,
they unaware of?
mm. I I would say because just like in a lot of situations when men are getting involved with women, and a lot of cases with women getting involved with men too, it's just that the thing that matters to you is like long as that's constantly being met, right? It's the moment that you drop below par and you consistently stay there and you start to decline even more. And then it's like, wait a minute, I didn't notice that until this particular time. And then you start to investigate, and then people get these answers. That's where the unawareness is. Just like with Daisy and John. They gave that trusted situation. Like, I trust you. You're a professional. You taught my oldest son. So nothing of the nature of you being a serial rapist to the mentally challenged and the physically challenged comes to mind. Hell, you are the head of ethics at one of the most prestigious universities in these United States of America. That doesn't cross your mind. That doesn't mean it can't happen, but it's just not at the forefront of your mind, right? I used to tell people all the time, stop giving motherfuckers credit that they ain't earned. Because you would label somebody a genius real quick because they rich. Go ahead, AJ.
Oh, I guess when it comes to that situation and that story, with a girl and a boy, like, I guess it doesn't, I guess I'm not shocked by that, especially like being here in America, because America's, at the end of the day, is also built on predatory behavior that we've all just been conditioned to all these damn years into thinking that it's okay, right? I'll give another example. Do y'all remember, like, okay, do y'all remember when the documentary about R. Kelly came out
Yeah,
and everybody was losing their minds as if we did not
yeah.
know the
I,
truth?
listen,
Bruh.
I could pull up discussions from Facebook and show you the shit where I'm like, hey, what y'all talking about? It's wrong. Well, it is wrong. Was it not wrong 30 years ago?
That's my point. Was it not
The
wrong 30
reason
years
why
ago? Was it
child
not wrong
porn,
15 years
right?
ago?
Like, reason why child pornography is a thing is because everybody saw the tape.
That part. Everyone saw the tape. Like, and not to mention how many people were defending him after that tape, right? The
Oh,
tape of him doing what he did with that 14-year-old
how many
girl.
grown women was like, he could pee on me and
He could, that's my point, right? But then, like, here's the other truth too, right? My mom working for these prestigious hotels, majority of the time I grew up, right? Would sit there and, like, there's times, you go in there, I'd go in there, whatever, waiting for my mom to get off work or, whatever it is. And so I'm sitting there, helping out in the summer. So I'd be sitting there and, it'd be some famous celebrity, didn't matter who it was, Snoop Dogg, you name it, staying at the hotel. And I would literally walk outside and literally there'd be a bunch of, like, skimpy ass girls walking in that are around my age at the time. Right now, mind you, I'm like beyond minor. Like, I'm beyond jailbait for sure. I'm like 14 years old. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking, I'm like, what the hell? And I walk outside only to find out they mamas are the ones that are dropping them off. It's their parents. So don't sit, like, this is where I get upset. This is where I started to call people out, right? Not that I get upset. This is where I start calling people out. Why is it? It's disrespectful when someone else does it. But if you do it, it's completely justified. So if you're sending your girl out there to these men, to these famous men, oh, it don't matter. You're exempt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's because of the amount of money he has.
Right.
That's the part I don't be understanding. That's where I'm just like, at the end of the day, this is a whole country full of hypocrites. At the end of the day. I don't trust none of y'all. The way I see it, you guys will say one thing today because it's popular, and in literally a couple of years, somebody will influence your thinking and it'll be something different. We're seeing that all over the place.
It's crazy because we talk about that, how it was like our age group of women, oh, he could pee on me anytime. And then it's like, oh no, he's a pedophile. He was a pedophile when it was known.
Regardless.
30 years back.
Matter of fact, even before that happened, like, it's not like we didn't know. Even adults at that time didn't know. He married Aaliyah when she was 14.
Pedophile.
You know what I'm saying? He's had other relations with younger girls.
Serial
that entire
pedophile.
time, in and out.
Habitual
that entire
pedophile.
time. So y'all gonna sit
Consistent
there and now
pedophile.
jump at it and be like, oh, well, documentary came out and now let's cancel R. Kelly. But let's be real. Did y'all really cancel R. Kelly, or did you really just listen to his shit on the low
So
for
I'm
a couple of years?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still ain't gonna stop listening to them niggas' music. No, I'm not, because I can separate the fact that, hey, his talent
Separate
only
from
made
what he did.
right. Listen, but that's another thing that I do notice about a particular group of people is that when they do wrong and somebody has talent, oh, it's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But when somebody that come in there a little bit shinier than the paper bag, hey boy, hey, you ain't as fast as you once was. Motherfucker, I ran a 3.9 getting out of bed. Oh no, see, because you did this, that 3.9 is a 5. And it's like, wait, what? No, it's always something that, like, this type of shit. The anthropologist was, just trying to hold her down. I'm like, no, stop it. Because now, where you are very intelligent, you are making yourself look not so intelligent and just starting to look like a very articulate fool.
Well, let me ask you this. Is this a level of intelligence or indoctrination? Those are two different things.
I don't think she was indoctrinated by anything. I think what she was doing was trying to make the integrity of her friend not just be scrubbed out completely, which is crazy, because me and Baba, we play it back and it's like, okay, you're doing an assessment, but you're using cutout pictures. And then when an actual doctor does the assessment, he's got actual tools.
Well, that's the thing. But even if that's the case, that would be a conflict of interest, right? When I went to school, right, and I was even when I was doing, like, the little bit of clinical work that I needed to, when I was getting my my child psychology degree, right? It's still, even then they will tell you it's a conflict of interest. I can't see my brother. I couldn't see my niece. I can't see, you know what I mean? All these things are conflicts of interest for a reason. Why? Because you can't be biased.
That's exactly why she said I can only do the initial, because she knew that. And like I said, the head of ethics, of course you know what's supposed to be on the upfront. But no, you're a fucking pervert. And I'm at a point like this. Could this possibly been a one-off? Sure. Do I think it was a one-off? No.
Absolutely not.
I think honestly, I think the other ones were well spoken enough to. You remember not something about Mary, but that spoof movie, Scream, or was it the dude that played like the town's remedial deputy?
I know what movie you're talking about. I just can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
He was a little slow. He was a little slow, but he was like.
But he actually what he just played the role and he was actually in on it.
Right.
So it's like, okay, though they were to that level to where they could say this is what happened. Slurred speech, a little cripple. I think those were the ones, and the family's like, look, we just gonna pull out on it. And more than likely, they were the same shade of people. However, you know, that superiority complex, the God complex, the hero complex, and so many other things. Well, you know you're absolutely wrong. And this is the thing about we're talking about being stupid. It's like you're stupid when you know exactly the outcome, but you do it anyway. Consistently.
Human rationalization is very prominent. It's a very strong thing when we can rationalize our behaviors. It's the reason why a lot of people are where they're at.
So, like me and Baba, we sitting here and it's like, okay, the man wears a pamper. He's not competent. He's nonverbal. But if we let Marjorie Anna Stubblefield tell it, well, shit, he was the black goddamn James Bond.
Smooth London bachelor out here
Right.
ready to get him, knocking him down.
He went 30 years being at home to now he's an independent bachelor. He wants to go and be on his own.
Sophisticated at that.
I mean, I think there's too many problems with that. Too many problems. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it's like the equivalent of like that's like parents who abuse their children and then they put their children in homeschooling. They do that on purpose because it's less likely anybody's going to come asking questions. So you now took this man who has been living in a home for over 30 years. You've now, quote unquote, supposedly fallen in love with him, and he's advocated to you somehow. Can't advocate for anything else to anybody else but you, and saying that he needs to be an independent bachelor all of a sudden.
Yeah, but he never told anybody he wanted a piece of candy.
But he didn't tell nobody else. But he can't tell nobody else anything else. But he can talk to you somehow.
He never told anybody else he wanted a piece of candy, but he could tell Anna Stubblefield, "Give me a piece of that poissy, girl."
Exactly.
It's the self-importance for me. It's the delusion.
He can't even speak that he wants some daggone food. He just hitting on the refrigerator, but he can just tell you, "I want to hit on them cheeks."
He can eloquently tell you, in the middle of the night, I would like to have a partaking of some intercourse. Put a fine glass of Sauvignon
Fine
Blanc.
wine.
There's Sauvignon Blanc from 1998. It's like, wait.
With a fine cigar.
Well, right. You know, just don't forget, I'm going to wear my Versace robe. Hand me my slippers.
I don't know. Well, see, if they need to lock her up and throw away the key, she is beyond a danger to society. That's like when teachers sit there and try to. That's like when that's like a teacher saying that a student deserved it. You took advantage of somebody who's vulnerable.
Right.
Well, that's a lot of them.
At the end of the day, why are we not addressing this? Like, as much as everybody has jumped, everybody can recognize it with these documentaries, right? Then this is my follow-up question to that then. Where the hell is this energy for real life shit? Because
exactly.
Everybody keeps thinking that these people are outside of their home. Like, you need to be calling out these aunties, grandpas, cousins, sisters, moms, you fucking name it, brothers. No, we ain't gonna call none of them out though. No, it's gotta be outside the house.
Yeah. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about
It's all about.
because like I said, somebody asked me, man, why didn't you do this sport? Why didn't you? I said, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was catching unnecessary hell at times for shit I knew I did exactly well. One time it was actually a few times, but this one particular time, I scored 5 touchdowns in a game,
Hey,
and I was asked why not score 7.
that boy. Never good enough.
It wasn't like you weren't
What?
good enough,
What?
but
Hold. You said what? You scored
why?
5 touchdowns,
Uh,
and they asked you why you didn't score 7?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, I heard a story from my ex that she passed the class, and the teacher wanted to address her about why she didn't get a simple answer from a simple problem, why she couldn't get an answer correct off of a simple problem when she had already aced the course, aced the test.
People overcomplicate.
I'm just telling you, man, my time with the cartel is gonna be a beautiful time because I'm gonna be a billionaire from all the drugs I'm gonna be selling in these streets. Because apparently, motherfuckers are smoking.
They're doing more than that, brother.
There's a lot going on, bro, in these streets.
They
Well,
I
doing a
be
lot
welcome
of
getting kind
back.
of
jail.
frustrated. Welcome back.
Well, thank
I
you.
be, and I think honestly, the one that's got me laughing the most right
What's
now, though,
so beautiful?
eh, the one
Oh
that's
shit! Oh, beautiful. I'm gonna get you a link. I just realized that.
oh my bad.
No, go
Hey,
Oh
ahead. Go ahead.
no.
how are you,
Oh,
baby? Hey, Baba. Hey, AJ.
Fuji
hey,
Mama. Is that Fuji Mama?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on?
Yes.
I was
that's
thinking,
Fuji.
wait.
But no, the one that's making me laugh right now, y'all, the most, right, is all these anti-LGBTQ shit that's going on right now. Where the fuck was this energy 2, 3 years ago?
Mm.
Now all of a sudden, y'all so anti-gay, anti-this everywhere.
Sure, I
Y'all
ain't
didn't have
seen
this
none of
energy
that.
2, 3 years ago. Y'all didn't have this energy a couple of years ago. Now all of a sudden, everybody got this damn energy. Make it make sense to me.
They ain't
None of
got
it.
it now.
I know they don't have it now. The only reason why they are spewing the rhetoric is because, again, it's political season. And that's one of the talking points for all these dumbass politicians. That's all it is.
Mm-mm.
I didn't even know they was doing that.
Yeah, no, it's talking points. This past year or this election season and this past year, there's been I think 275 anti-LGBTQ laws that they've been trying to pass. More than half of them have been shot down, but either way, I'm just saying I don't understand where this energy all of a sudden has come from.
It's only coming because of how far they're going, so far as into the school systems and the impression that they're having on their children. If it wasn't for that, it wouldn't be occurring.
Mm.
It wouldn't be happening. If they were able to actually
I sent
socialize
you the link.
normally like everyone else, it wouldn't be happening. But the fact that it's
I
now
sent you the
running
link.
into the schools and it's making changes within their personal life, maybe that's possibly a reason why they're all about this anti-LGBT, because they weren't doing this when it first came out.
I mean, here's my
Well,
thing.
actually, they were initially, and then it found out that there was favor in it because all of a sudden somebody who can actually crunch numbers was like, "Hey, motherfucker, they ain't got no kids like that, so they really got buddy like that." Oh, word! Oh, word! We need all that vote. Shit, we having a pink party over here at Tom's house tonight. Huh? Get over here, shake some hands. It's a check. It's a check. Because back then, it was very much known that the LGBTQ, well, it wasn't all that. It was just the LGBT, or was it the T?
It was
Yeah.
just the LGBT,
So
yeah.
it was known that
I thought it
they
was
didn't have
QA.
kids. Well, that
Well,
came later.
the QIA didn't come out until later. So
Right.
when I came out when I was 13, so I was over, and I'm gonna be 32, so that was over 20 years ago. When I came out then, it was just
Okay.
LGBT. The Q
Yeah.
was still, so the Q, which stands for queer, was still considered a slur. That's just something that it was a derogatory term towards anybody who was like gay or LGBT
And
at
then
that
the
time.
TV,
Then
then
we
the
took it back.
then the
Yeah, then we
TV
took it
show.
back, and then we added other stuff. And then, yeah. What
Because I
TV
remember
show? Which one? The L word?
no, the queer eye for the straight guy.
Queer guy, yeah, queer eye for the straight guy, yeah,
I
that
was
came
like,
out, yeah.
I was confused by that title, but then I watched it. I'm like, oh, it's a fashion thing. It's like, oh, and then that's when it was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
queer is no longer a derogatory term. I'm like,
yeah, they took it,
okay.
yeah, we took it back because we were like, fuck that.
So,
Yeah.
like I say,
So
it
that
came
became a
with a
thing.
check.
How that? Yeah, that's how it started.
It was good business, and like I tell people all the time, good business doesn't always indicate good business. It's just that, hey, I do this and the numbers work, right? Like it's the profit.
Mm-hmm.
I might come back on later, but just not this topic. I'm gonna go on what you call it on later. I gotta be somewhere in about
What
shit.
y'all doing back on TikTok? My bad, y'all. I'm all
Yeah.
over the
No,
place.
you're good.
I
You're good.
didn't.
I'm gonna leave here in about 10 minutes or so.
I've
So
been deep in my little research and just kind of laughing at people.
mofos ain't
Honestly.
figured out.
I just missed every bit of it.
Yeah, it's all good. But you finally figured out how to work it though.
And
Hey.
you are right. I did figure out how to work it out.
Yeah, you know, and you finally used that damn laptop that had fucking 45 updates.
Do you know that bitch is still updating? I bullshit you the fuck not.
You
I'm on.
need your ass whipped.
I'm done. Not 45 updates. Girl, what'd you do? You just left it just sitting
Just
there?
left it there. And
Not
that's why
connected?
I'm like, y'all just get these laptops and shit. Don't even use. Well, your phone can do it. I'm like, yeah, but you
So
use
does it.
your laptop.
Nah, but real shit that we got the MacBooks because my son in college, he was doing some online classes and shit. So I didn't even really, I stopped using laptops years ago. You know what I'm saying? So when I had to get up on that boy and that damn thing had all them updates, I was like, man, fuck all that. And I got the Optimum Spectrum too. Shit was taking forever. I was like, oh, and that bitch still updating, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, we definitely gonna hit on some stuff, man. We had some fun discussions today earlier on that apparatus that I don't give two shits about. Yeah,
On the TikTok
Yo,
space?
yeah.
boy for me. It was the boy for me. And let me tell you where his problem is when it comes down to courting women. His constant use of the word like. He said like 5 bajillion times.
Oh shit.
But
I'm
he admitted that he was raised in around women like
That
all the
don't mean
time.
nothing.
but I know a whole bunch of AJ doesn't use like that.
Fuck no, I don't.
I've ever talked to in the last long
Huh.
the last extensively like that. Boy was like you could he didn't couldn't even get a sentence out. It was annoying. And then AJ, he went on to say that women, the way that women speak or talk and or explain things, we can't answer direct questions while he's not answering a direct question. That shit irritated my soul.
Oh shit. Who's we talking about, y'all?
His name is something logical, something like that. He'll be
Oh
back.
no, you said enough. You said enough. The word logical in the name that you said enough.
It was
Look, okay, one of the conversations, and I know who you're talking about because he hangs out in the same conversations. That stupid conversation of women are emotional and men are logical is the funniest conversation ever because that is the farthest from the truth. Men, women may be emotional, right? But both can be logical. Not one is more logical than the other. At the end of the day, we're just pushed different, right? Men tend to be more egotistical. That doesn't mean that they're bad. Their ego just needs to be in the right place. Other than that, we can both be logical. One is not inherently logical. If that was the case, there wouldn't be a lot of men out here on some fuck shit. Just
fade
saying.
in the back. Real
Just
talk.
saying.
And it was crazy because a lot of the discussions that we have about men being logical and women being emotional, you'll find that the men get a little bit more mad faster than the women in the chat, and then will result to name calling or trying to decrease you or discount you to something completely random and just like spam. They talk shit about you when they can't outword you, and that to me is highly emotional, and it's crazy to me. I don't even get it.
Y'all, I ain't even going front, y'all. I'm like, well, I've kind of decided, like, except for like very few people on that app, right? Few lives or few people that I care to talk to on there. I ain't really trying to be on there like I have been. I got some other shit I need to focus on. Of course, I'll still be on there on the business account, but for the most part, I ain't really trying to be on there no more. Like, to be honest, just because I feel like the conversations, I'm tired of having to censor everything, so we can't ever have a real conversation. Two, there's always some idiot when you are having a good conversation that always has to jump up in the panel and fuck it all up.
Yep.
Every goddamn time. Or you always have somebody who thinks that they're way smarter than they actually are and they can't fucking rub two brain cells together and they want to contribute into a conversation they have no business interjecting into.
Do you know what gets me? What irritates me? And the only reason why I stay on TikTok is because I'm still in trouble. So you literally have to status.
Hold up. You cutting out. What happened?
I think it's his mic.
Okay.
Oh, it's G's mic. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And what gets me and aggravates me is constant bashing of single moms. You know what I mean?
Same. Yeah.
And it burns me to my core. I'm a single mom, and I like what they single moms are. And the reason why I'm a single mom it has nothing to do with any of the reasons they pose. And I'm just like, and I tell them, there are a lot of us like they say it's only the 1%. Well, if you take 1% of 3 million, that's a large ass number to just ignore to validate your point.
Shut your masculine ass up. That's why you ain't got no man. You cut your own
with y'all, bro.
You cut your own grass with scissors.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And then, like I told one of them, I'm like, you know what? You can't make a person do something that they don't want to do. If a dad doesn't want to stay, you can't make them stay. Or dads are not there, or moms are not there because life led them somewhere else, and it doesn't align with you, or you and the man don't align. That don't mean that you don't try to trap this man, or you wasn't good enough and you didn't bring anything to the table, or you was a 304. It irritates my spirit. And those are the main talking points.
So look, I got 5 minutes, so I'm gonna move our discussion back to the app.
Oh God,
nonsensicalness. But if anytime we want you, if you say, listen, this is YouTube worthy, you message me, we go ahead and crank this thing up, we get it going. All right. So we can do that at any time you like. Listen, YouTube. I say okay.
Well, I'm trying to let y'all know I'm gonna be taking a break a little bit off a lot of my personal accounts just because I did a life audit today and I fucking failed my shit so bad. I got a bunch of shit I gotta work on, so I ain't really trying to be on TikTok all that much right now. I got all the shit I gotta do.
I understand.
But yeah, no, I'm down to jump on here though.
Right?
Yeah, I'm still gonna be on my business page for sure, Baba. I ain't leaving y'all on that one. Trust me. That one I gotta be there for.
I got shit. I still gotta
But if we got this shit, I'll jump this shit. Yeah, we'll jump on this, and then if y'all want, jump on the Discord and share that out to people like us. Like I said, I'm cool for more cool people. Definitely get Fuji in there as well, because that'd be cool.
It ain't too many of us. It ain't too many of us.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get these hustlers in here, bro.
Listen, everybody. Appreciate y'all stopping by. It is TMax_network. Please like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Man, bye-bye.
Send me the joint when you hop on.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty good on her from going forth, man.
Hey, it's all good, brother. It's all good. I understand, because
I listen, because the questions don't stop. I'm more exhausted from the questions that don't stop.
Actual case.
Right. It's like, this what? Like, I didn't think I had this. Now, why I got this new question? Like, it's like, it doesn't stop. And then when you tell somebody about it, and then they go through that thing, so it's like, it's not just me.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
And then they might have questions to add on to that question.
Right. But then they're like, I ain't even think of that. And so it's like, then I forgot all the original questions I had at first. So this shit is not even worth it no more. But it should have been plastered, is my thing. It should have been just covered. Like, it still begs the question: is this a ring of people that she's associated with? You know, like you see what I'm saying? Like all kinds of stuff. So,
there's
but
no
yeah,
way that she could do something like that, get that type of time, only do 2 years and then out and being
right,
watched for the rest of
right,
her life. Like, come on, man.
right,
Come on.
right. So,
It's a line of
man,
people.
we're gonna get up out of here. I catch you on the other app real quickly. But
Yes,
everybody
sir.
else, T-Max_network on all social media platforms. We'll holler at y'all later.
Sure.